As you think about leading today, can I plant a few ideas in the back of your brain? My name is Julia Middleton. I am the director of a movement called Women Emerging. Over the years, I suppose I've been on both sides of your audience. I ran for 30 years an NGO called Common Purpose, which I started and which I loved. And over the years too, I started venture philanthropy and impact funds, both in the UK and in the Arab world. So I love the gathering that you are together for. Over the years, I've also done quite a lot of leading and watched a lot of leading. I've not been a leader and I've not done leadership. I've done leading. What do I mean by that? I mean that leading's a verb. It's an action. It's something we do. It's not leader, which is sort of pips on your shoulders or stilettos on your feet. It's not a position that you can choose is yours or claim that will always be yours. It's not a position, I don't think. And I'm not crazy about the word leadership either. It finishes with the word ship at the end, which to me is a sort of tanker, an unmovable thing that, it does move, but so slowly you never see it. I love leading. I love the action, the dynamism, the energy of leading. I started Women Emerging with an expedition a few years ago. An expedition where 24 of us, 24 women, everybody from the head of tax for EY in Beijing to a young Polish violinist and many amazing women in India. And we went on an expedition over a year to find an approach to leading that resonates with women. Now, why did we do that? Because too many of us had spoken on empowerment programs for women. And when we finish speaking, we sort of say, can I see the reading list? And the reading list is inevitably a lot of books written by men or written by women on how to succeed in a man's world, neither of which really resonate much with me. And the other reason is because you meet so many, particularly young women today, but women of all ages who are sort of saying they don't want anything to do with leading. They've seen too many leaders doing it. And they don't much like what they see. And they don't feel like leading's right. And yet leading is so crucial. There are so many problems in the world. It's going to require leading. And it cannot just be from 50% of the population. What did we discover over our year? That how we lead is individual. That was very clear to all of us. That it's very much framed in what we ended up calling our essence. The heart of who we are, which frames how we lead. The 24 women, we all came up with various things that we named as our essence and looked at carefully. We talked about motherness, we talked about the sacred and how it influences how we lead, about our trauma, our education, our connection with our bodies, our connection with nature. We named a lot of pieces of essence that, for good or ill, for helpful or not, definitely influence how we lead. And as a result of that, we thought a lot about some of the things that we thought we had to drop. For example, your education might have your education, formal and informal, might well have persuaded you that you're never quite enough. Well, drop that. It might have given you a bit of imposter syndrome. Reframe that. That's a strength, an imposter syndrome, because the alternative to that, possibly, is to know everything. I'd rather have the imposter syndrome any day. But ultimately, what we really discovered in our heads is that leading is about generating energy. It's about generating energy that produces change, that generates energy in yourself, that generates energy and releases energy in all the people around you and in the very air that you breathe. So if I leave you with any thoughts as a result of these few minutes together, it is that talk about leading, not status, not roles, not ships. Think about energy when it happens, how wonderful it is, and how draining it can be in its absence. Think about your essence, which is so fundamental to energy, because the energy needs to be rooted back into essence. And also do an expedition of your own. We ended up capturing what we'd learnt on our first expedition, then inviting women all over the world to go on expeditions now. And there are many, many, many either have started or about to start. Indeed, there's one about to start with women from across India. So I send you much love and have a wonderful day today.